But have you heard what happened to his mother? This is the story of Alberta King. She was more than just the mother of Martin Luther King Jr. She was a leader in her own right, a teacher, a community builder. She played the organ at Ebenezer Baptist Church for over 40 years and helped raise one of the most important voices in history. Even after losing her son and her husband to violence, she kept showing up, kept playing the organ, kept her faith. Then, in 1974, while playing during Sunday service, she was shot and killed inside the church. The shooter said he was on a mission to kill Christians. She was 69 years old, murdered in the same church where she once watched her son preach. It happened 6 years after Dr. King's assassination, and most people still don't know it happened at all. There were no national headlines, no moment of silence, no monument. But Alberta King gave this world a movement and paid the price for it. If you never learned about her, now you have. This is the kind of history they don't want us to remember. You know Dr. King, but have you heard what happened to his mother? This is the story of, you know Dr. King.
Too often, we have people memorializing their community and their culture on the top of mountains, in the Senate or the House of Representatives, or even the Oval Office, Pentagon. But our people sometimes get forgotten. I didn't even know this story about Martin Luther King's mother, and it needs to be told. She's a queen, and she gave us a king. The sad part about it is, a lot of times, we think we know who we are, but we don't know our own history. And even if sometimes we do, it seems that someone else's history is more important to you than your own. But how can that be? How can you put someone else before you? And it's not to say that you hate them, but the thing that we want to make sure that you get down in your spirit is to love you. Once you love you, you can love someone else. If you don't love yourself, how can you care about another? You have been conditioned from birth to see yourself as below human or humanity, other humans, when you are actually, you're the example that everybody should take from humanity. Because if you think about just scientifically where we stand on this earth in history, our DNA, our historical events, our history that's been taken away from us, our culture, our language, but we are still here. And I want to come back and talk to you, but here's another lady whose genes, DNA, saved others in another way.
Finally, after more than 70 years, a measure of justice for the family of Henrietta Lacks, whose cells were taken without her family's consent and led to groundbreaking medical discoveries. Here's Jake Ward.
Henrietta Lacks is inside all of us in treatments and vaccines her cells made possible. And tonight, her family is finally being compensated for her contributions.
Such sacrifice that she had to give of herself that benefited all the world.
Lacks died of cervical cancer in 1951 at Johns Hopkins, where, in a racially segregated ward, doctors cut out a sample of her cancer cells without her permission. The cells, nicknamed HeLa, were the first to grow well in a lab and are now a bedrock of modern medicine. Her family sued multi-billion-dollar Thermo Fisher Scientific in 2021, saying the company, quote, made staggering profits by using the HeLa cell line, although it, quote, has known that HeLa cells were stolen from Ms. Lax. The family settled for an undisclosed amount Monday. Thermo Fisher says it's pleased the case is resolved, but had no further comment.
Today, on her 103rd birthday, we got justice. Her legacy is in good hands. Our family is standing together in solidarity to push forward. We're going to keep making sure Henrietta never dies, such as her HeLa cells never died.
Lax was an impoverished tobacco farmer, a mother of 5 when she developed cervical cancer, and never knew that her unique cells would be part of everything from genome mapping to the eradication of polio.
And Hopkins made all that money off of our mother.
The immortal life of Henrietta Lax brought worldwide attention to her contribution and to unethical experimentation on Black bodies by medical science.
There just isn't a moment in medical history that doesn't somehow connect to her cells.
A bipartisan bill introduced last week would give Lax a congressional gold medal. And now her family, several of whom suffered chronic illness without health insurance over the years, will share in the bounty that her body made possible. Jake Ward, NBC News.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel.
So we hear the family talks about they got justice. I disagree. You got money. You may have gotten recognition, but justice. No, I don't think that's going to ever happen. And the reason why I say that is just because you accept a monetary, and it's not a gift, something that's owed to you, just like we talk about a lot of the things that's owed to Black people, and we don't talk about reparations anymore because so many of us start something, but we don't finish it. The fact is, when people owe you, the only way you're going to get it is to stay on them, just like they stayed on Indians, just like they stayed on Africans, and they got what they wanted, and they're trying to do it again. Henrietta Lax, Mrs. King, we see you, we understand the sacrifices that you made, and although we may not want to hear it, you are memorialized in this little complimentary YouTube. Thank you.